A just-released report by the Department of Justice reveals several instances where the FBI failed to properly handle reports of child sexual abuse. The audit is a follow-up to issues identified during the investigation of former Dr. Larry Nassar. In one case, the audit by the Inspector General found abuse continued 15 months after the agency was notified. 13 on your side's Jeremiah Brown has a closer look at the report and reaction from advocates in West Michigan.
The Department of Justice releasing an audit on the FBI handlings on tips of hands-on sex offenses against children. The new report says since the Nassar investigation, the FBI continued to have shortcomings in investigating allegations of sexual abuse, partially attributing it to the sheer volume of cases and lack of staff, citing instances of agents being assigned 60 cases at a time.
Recognizing the depth that the investigation and the review went through was really encouraging, that it was not a cursory or surface review.
Since the Nassar case, the report shows the FBI has implemented training, policy, and system changes to improve its responses, with the FBI acknowledging past mistakes and planning to adopt new approaches.
It is a lot for any one department to manage, and there are systems and collaborations that can be put in place to assist with training, to assist with the development of protocols and practices, of aligning systems, of being more transparent with data and comparing that data to what is happening and being provided in other communities and spaces.
Sharice Mitchell from the YWCA for West Central Michigan says preventing sexual abuse of all forms requires a community-wide effort, with one agency being unable to manage this issue alone. She highlights the importance of local collaboration and a multifaceted approach.
How are we educating people about consent, what consent is and what consent isn't? How are we promoting bodily autonomy for all people, for adults, for children, for persons with intellectual and developmental disabilities across the spectrum? What are we doing to promote those spaces and healthy relationships?
Mitchell says she is encouraged to see continuing calls for change, but hopes to see progress continuing to be tracked and managed.
The events that surrounded all of the assaults that Larry Nassar created didn't happen in one day. It took years to get to that level of abuse. It is going to take years of urgency and effort. We really cannot take our foot off the gas.
Jeremiah joins us now live from the newsroom. And Jeremiah, what resources exist here right in our community for people experiencing sexual abuse?
Yeah, Julia, on our screen here is the State Sexual Assault and Abuse Hotline. The YWCA and Children's Advocacy Centers here are also local organizations that assist survivors of abuse. If you have experienced abuse of any kind, the biggest thing to remember is that it is not your fault and there is always help available.
Jeremiah, thank you very much for that story.